Jazakallah Warga Bhai for the introduction. So, first of all, let me really appreciate that you guys have come on Sunday afternoon, which is normally a period where people have a good sleep. So, this really give a good confidence to me as well, and also put a pressure on me that I do not mess up the presentation. So, first of all, let me introduce myself. Right, I am a director of PBS into technology. So, basically, I work between business and technology, and I have my own startup of Falcons Bank Infotech. We are into building websites, applications, and majorly it is into training, right? And the training, it's not a usual conventional training. It's works basis on the first principle. The first principle is, I think, you drill down to a level where you understand the basic fundamentals, right? So it's based on that. So inshallah, I will try my session to be on based on that as well. If you are trying to learn something on ChatGPT, we'll trying to drill down to a level where it is actually been developed, right? So if you have seen that one of the key takeaway was what is the underlying technology of ChatGPT, right? We're going to spend some time on that, but inshallah it will be a little bit technical, but please bear with me. At least at the end of the session, you will know how does the technology really work, right? So before I start, I just need to understand, just to get the bit of the audience, all of you, whoever are from the technology background, who knows technology, or somewhere in time in their life they have written some code. Okay, so okay, and rest of the others are from a different background, is it? They have not seen the technology at all. They have never coded anything, or they, at least they have used the smartphones, right? They must have used the smartphones, right? Okay, I think we are good. Let's start with that. So this is our agenda, right? We are going to go through this agenda points. This is what you're going to cover in another 1 hour. What is ChatGPT? History of ChatGPT. What is the underlying technology of ChatGPT? ChatGPT for students, professionals, and business owners. Ways to generate income using the ChatGPT technology. Building an AI-powered application 1 and 2. Just want to get a good number out of this topic. Which one is the most interesting topic to you guys?
ChatGPT for students, professionals.
Okay. Any other? Underlying technology. That's what I wanted to hear, because I have prepared this PPT to make. Just my goal of today is just to make you understand how things really work, right? See, because there is a lot of content available on the YouTube right now, right? How ChatGPT works, ways to generate income, and all those things. Definitely, we're going to touch point on that, but we'll try to understand how this ChatGPT really works, because it's a really good transformation, right, in this century. So, see, I am also a learner. I am also a student of this. So the reason I know a little bit of this, because I have done my MTech from BITS Pilani in data science and engineering, and my dissertation project was also based on chatbot, right? And this was in September. For ChatGPT was never released at that time. So the underlying concept was in our offices, right? Whenever you have a meeting or whenever you have a discussion, right? You have a person who knows everything, right? He knows everything, and then you call up that person. Usko bulao, usko malum hoga. So I thought, why can't we have a bot which understands everything, right? Let's train him, and whenever we have a question, we can ask it, right? A chatbot is there. It's not the first time this ChatGPT has come, right? We are going to see the underlying technology of it, how it works, and how it has advanced in the real estate. So that was a project, right? And I worked on some models, and I built some models, and based on that, that's the reason I understand a little bit of ChatGPT, right? How the underlying technology works. So that's the reason. Okay, what is ChatGPT? See, I'm going to make it a little bit interactive, because I don't want to really speak. It's better if you just try to understand, right? If someone have already heard about ChatGPT, what it is, what it's all about.
Murshid, I have one this suggestion. I think some of the students have joined us today.
Okay.
There is a student who belongs to 8th standard as well among this crowd. So you better ask these guys from which standard they belong to and what is their understanding. Then possibly it will be much interactive.
Okay, for students, I think the way I have designed this course is for the professionals, but definitely you're going to understand it. It's not like things are a little bit, when you understand a little bit underlying technology, it will be a little bit difficult, but still I'll try to manage to explain it, right? But I just want to understand what is ChatGPT from you guys.
It's a kind of a chatbot powered by artificial intelligence.
Okay.
And belongs to OpenAI, and initially Elon Musk was someone who funded the whole project. Now it's everybody's talking about it. It doesn't work on a search engine. It is like the data has been fed into the system, and it pulls up from the data.
Okay, that's a very brief, good introduction about it. Anyone else want to try? No problem. There is no good or bad answer. You can just raise up and say anything. If whatever you have heard about ChatGPT. How many have used it basically? Please raise up your hand. Anyone who has used ChatGPT? And there are a lot of people have used it. Okay. Okay.
Actually simplifies your individual's work. If I want to understand, even if it has to coding also, query,
it's really helpful, right? So let's see what is exactly it's all about, right? So ChatGPT, we are going to break this down definition, right, bit by bit, and try to understand what is happening here. So ChatGPT is a state-of-the-art artificial intelligence model developed by OpenAI that can be understand a human-like text. Okay, it's based on the type of a deep learning called a transformer network. Welcome to it, right? Welcome to it. Just go by the definition first. And was trained on a vast amount of text data to learn the patterns and association between the words and phrases. This allows the ChatGPT to carry on the conversation with a human, answer questions, and even generate text. This is similar to what a human might write, right? So whenever you speak to a ChatGPT, it's a very human-like conversation with it, right? And where does it sit? Where does technology sit, right? This technology sit. You can see there is an artificial intelligence. Underlying you have a machine learning, and then you have a neural nets, and then you have a deep learning. So here I already raised that we have a masterclass conducted. So we have covered till machine learning. So deep learning part is pending, right? So this comes under deep learning. So basically it's a bot which has been trained on the vast amount of data. So someone, if you want an analogy for this, someone in your city, in your colony, a person who knows everything about the colony, right? And if you want to know anything about it, anything about what is happening in the colony, just go and speak to him, right? It's like that. So what this bot has been done, it has been trained on the vast amount of data. You're going to see what do you mean by train, right? How it has been trained, because the end of the day, my job will be done if I just try to make you understand this is not a magic, right? This is a technology, and the way the technology has been used to train the models, right? So it has been trained. So when I say trained, when I say how are you, right? So it has been trained to reply I am fine, or something with like that, right? How are you? I'm fine. So how does that happen, right? So it's a bot which has been trained on vast, lots of data in the internet. It has been trained on that internet, and it predicts the human conversation. When you speak to him, it will also speak back to you. Little bit history about it, right? As someone mentioned, right? Samir mentioned that OpenAI was founded by December 15, Elon Musk, Sam Altman and others. There are many others. I just put others here because it will be a very long list. The company mission was to ensure that artificial intelligence is developed in a way that is safe and beneficial for the humanity, right? So the intention was that a building behind it. 2017, right? This is really interesting. I'll come to it, but skip it for a time being now. And then the OpenAI introduces the GPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformer. The GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. We are going to break down that as well, right? And understand why it is called Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Language model. 2018, the development of ChatGPT 3 begins. 2019, OpenAI announces GPT model, which generates a highly coherent, contextually appropriate text, but it was not open to public yet. They have already built it, but they have kept it to themselves. Now you have an interface of ChatGPT, but it was not there in 2019. May 2020, OpenAI announces the release of ChatGPT 3 model, which has billions of parameters and create the text, which is indistinguishable from the text written by humans. Normally, whatever has been written by the computer, you can say, right, this has been written by the computer. June 2020, they have released another version of ChatGPT 3, and 2022, everybody knows you have the ChatGPT available, and then you started guys using it, right? And the latest one which I have added recently is the March 2023, ChatGPT 4 has been launched, right? So this is a brief history all about it. Now what is 2017, right? Why did I say let's skip this part? Because it all started from here, right? Because there was one paper published by Google. This was the Google Brains. Google Brains is one of the small part of the Google company, and they have published one paper. Attention is all you need. So this is this paper is on the internet. I'll show it to you. So all this models which works behind, right? It's a deep learning model. It's nothing else. It's a deep learning model which runs behind the ChatGPT. So they have made a small change in that model, and that's the reason they have mentioned attention is all you need. Okay. Anyone who has been using this ChatGPT has ever faced issues while accessing it? It's saying it's open capacity. It has been there, right? So there is a workaround for that, right? It's called Play Platform. It's a playground in OpenAI. So let me give you a brief about this, right? Where we are right now, we have seen the history of ChatGPT. We have seen the definition of ChatGPT, what ChatGPT is all about. And now sometimes when you access a ChatGPT, we encounter some issues of the access issues. Now, what's the background? What runs behind the ChatGPT is this thing, right? So this is a playground by OpenAI. Playground as in they have opened the platform and then you can play around here by the OpenAI team itself. So it's same as this. On the right hand side you can see a mode. It's called complete chat insert delete, right? It's a complete mode. What's the model name? ChatGPT is currently running on this model. Its name is Text DaVinci 003. There are different types of model here. Text Query, Text Babbage, Text Ada, and different models. Currently this is the latest model which is running on ChatGPT 3. Yeah.
How should I access this?
You just have to create an account on OpenAI.
But once you open an account, what happens? Where do you go? What is the landing page?
Just say platform.openai.com
Okay.
and you will land on this particular page and just click on playground. Right? This is an alternative whenever you come across.
On the home page, can you show it how to redirect
Okay,
it to
sure.
this page?
Platform.openai.com/background playground, and I've already logged in. That's the reason I am able to. That's going to open it for you. So this is what runs behind, right? It's a playground for you. You can test it, right? So suppose the ChatGPT is not working, so you can use this, right? Let's say that's the one example, right? You just submit it. But the only change here is you have a different types of parameters available here on the right hand side which you can play around and get the output. So it's kind of a more advanced user who wants to use the ChatGPT. If ChatGPT is not working, this is an alternative where you can work around, right? So this is the text machine. So this is one of the slides which I put because I just want to make sure that you understand what's happening in the, what are the options available to access it, right? I'll come to this. Before that, let's access ChatGPT, right? So this is the interface for ChatGPT. If anyone who has not used this, you just have to say chat.openai.com and you will land up on this particular page. If you don't have an account, you just create an account, and once the account is created, say chat.openai.com and you will land up on this particular page. To initiate the conversation, you have to say new chat and you have to start conversing with this chatbot. It will also keep the history of whatever you have already chatted with it, right? So for example, I work in credit risk domain, right? So I've asked a lot of things about banking. So I just want to understand how the banking works, the whatever terminologies I was working into it, right? I want to understand each and everything. So it was replying back to me, right, in the way. So let's say simple example. It's really good, right? Now the best part of the ChatGPT is it's not about the conversation. It's also about the prompts. It works on prompts. So it's all about how you ask the question. That is also very important, right? So let's say, for example, I'll say, can you explain me about caffeine? As if I am 5-year-old. So you just ask the question that please explain me about caffeine coffee, right? What is being used in coffee, right? But one thing which you have added here is as if I am a 5-year-old, right? You have to explain in that term. So let's see what it has replied. Caffeine is a substance that is found in something which you eat and drink like coffee, tea, and chocolate. It's a type of a chemical that can make you feel more awake and alert, right? That's fine. I'd say that's great, but I just want a different version of it. Let's say now. Let's say I'm a high school student. The reason I'm telling you this example is because if you want to understand something from the scratch and how to make things explain to others as well, so this is you can use the power of ChatGPT because it explains you in a different way. Now, I just changed the context and I said I am a high school student. So now it has changed the context. It says caffeine is a type of a drug that is naturally found in some plants, including coffee beans, tea leaves, cocoa beans. Right? It has changed the conversation. Now it is something which is for the high school student. Right? Now let's change it again to the next level. PhD. Stimulant becomes a class of compounds like called methylaxamines. It's found in the plant-based foods like beverages. So it has gone down to the chemical compound of it, right? Because now you have asked based on what's the PhD level. So that's the power of it, right? Because it's not about the conversation, it's about how you ask the question as well. So there are different types of prompts available. At the end of this session, I'm going to give you that PDF, the way of all the prompts which you can ask the question. Since I conduct the classes for the data science, I have a PDF which I have compiled from different sources from the internet. It's for the data science students, right? They can just put those prompts, they can take the code and they can run it directly on the Python, right? It's as good as that. Now, let me also explain. Now, this session is really good because anything which I have to ask, I can ask directly here itself, right, to the ChatGPT. Now, anyone see to test this, right? To test this model, what I did was a personal story. I just asked my elder brother, in your profession, tell me one thing which nobody knows and you perfectly knows about that, which you think you only know about it, and you don't think the information is not available in the internet, right? He said, okay, he's into denim chemical. He's a chemical engineer, so it's a chemical washing and everything. He said, okay, just ask this about the recipe, how to prepare this recipe for denim washing. I said, okay, I just tapped it and I asked it, I think it's there. Raisin jeans for recipe. All these questions, right, basically, and it spit it out all the information about the how the washing happens. And he's not a tech guy, he doesn't use gadgets and everything, but all the information which it gives, it was really resonating with him. He said, this is really good, how to use it, tell me. So it was like that. The same example goes with my elder sister, right? She is into investment banking and she is into valuation of bonds. I said, what do you think, what the piece of work which you think which make you very valuable in your company and no one knows about it? And she answered, and she asked the same thing, and it replied back with all the information. So the thing is, it has been trained on entire information of the internet, right? So this is the 3.5 version. The 4 version is really good, and we'll try to see how it was trained, how it really works, right? This model, if it is responding like this, so what is the technology behind it, right? That's make it really interesting. So there are different prompts. Basically, you can go on the internet. I can give you the links as well. After this session, probably you can just give your numbers. You can add it to a group, and whatever resources which I find on the internet for the prompts, I will share it there. So what prompt is going to make your life easier, because instead of thinking what should I ask it, you can directly drag and drop and copy paste and directly ask the question, right? Based on whatever field you are working on. Okay? जैसे कि if anyone who thinks from here, right, in the group, let's do it right now itself. Anyone in the group thinks in his job this is a very important piece of thing which he or she is doing and no one knows about it, and probably I don't think computers can mimic it, or probably computers doesn't know about it, right? Does anyone who wants to test it out, or any information which you think I think it's not available and I think we should give it a try? Or you can ask any question from your field, right, on a day in and day out, whatever you want.
Even you can try for students, अगर आपको कुछ है ऐसा कौन बताओ, you test
Anyone from the student who thinks,
That is what more interesting.
see, the students is really helpful, right? If you have any doubts, right? In our time, when we used to have a doubt, we have no one to go, right? You have a complete tutorial available on your computer right now.
Maybe some scientific formula, or you have some problem solving. जैसे है तो बताओ, you test it out.
So I know a word, expansion wall. Expansion wall, it is used in a chiller plant.
Okay.
We want to know more about that.
Okay. One more thing, I just want to add. So if you're conversing with ChatGPT, right? It also remembers the context, what you're conversing, right? For example, I'll come to your point, sir. Right?
It's like
The reason I
Google
stated
Home
that
and
because
Alexa. It's like Google Home and Alexa nowadays. Like when you're conversing, it remembers the last
Context of
conversation
it.
which you had, and it continues the conversation.
yeah, that's the reason they have a thread structure like this, right? So let's say, can you give me 5 points about
Can you ask atomic habits? The summary of atomic habits.
Murshid,
Huh.
let's try something, because since the data has been fed till 2022, I believe, right?
21.
21,
Yeah.
right? So let's say if we talk about the yesterday's event, who was that personality who visited near that garden? Ask about that man, whether he'll be able to find that man.
I don't think who will reply back. Do you know which garden it is?
His Bageshwar Baba.
Okay.
Who is Bageshwar Baba? Yesterday I tried that. I don't want to give you the results right now. Yeah, see, he doesn't know.
Okay, he doesn't know about it, right? So let's do one thing. There is one more solution for this, right? This 2021 तक ट्रेन हुआ है ये. उसके बाद एक solution है. Let's go this solution, right? See, go to Chrome and go on extensions. ठीक है? और वहाँ पर डालो web chat GPT.
So you have extension also.
Yeah. There's an extension. Let me try
But
chat
Google
GPT.
allows you to add that extension.
Yeah. It allows you to add that.
I heard Bing, the Microsoft
So it's not a
Bing
tool.
has that, they have incorporated that extension. Bing is now working with the ChatGPT, Microsoft.
So it's not a tool, it's basically the browser entering the information, right? So when the data comes to the browser, it's not a tool anymore. The tool does not have a control over it. So because you have made a request, so it's basically HTTP, right? You have made a request to the internet and you have got the information on your computer right now. So it's all HTML. So but the tool does not have the capability. Now your browser is holding the information, right? So there is one Chrome extension, web chat GPT, which give you the real-time information, right? Which will give you the real-time information. I don't know why I'm not able to search this.
This window is showing what extensions you have already installed.
Okay.
So click on the 3 lines, yeah, and the last word. Open Chrome web store, yeah.
Good job.
No, this is not the one I'm looking for. I've installed it and I've removed it because it was giving me a lot of information which I didn't need it. Let's search on Google first. ChatGPT. Let me run this and see whether this is the one. No, this is not the one. When you open the browser, right, you will get one more window here which shows a web chat GPT. Do you want to access the internet, right? Probably after this session group, whenever you are going to join, I will share that information. I'm not able to find it. Just in the interest of time, because you have to cover a lot of things today. So that will help you to access the internet instead of the trained model, right? What he mentioned. Okay. So he doesn't know about this information, right? Now let's ask ChatGPT itself, how are you built, right? Because we're interested how it is working, right? From here it's going to get a little bit technical, as I mentioned earlier, right? So let's please concentrate on this. So I'm a ChatGPT, a large language model developed by OpenAI. I was built using a neural network architecture. The neural network, as I showed you in the first diagram, artificial intelligence. Then you have a machine learning, you have a neural network, and you have a deep learning model, right? And designed by the natural language processing, my task has been considered a vast corpus of amount on internet, including books, articles, and websites. During my training, my neural network learned to recognize the pattern in the text and make prediction based on the context. This allows me to generate responses to my questions. Okay. How long it took for your training? Now, okay. I was trained over a period of several weeks, right? Using a massive amounts of text data, exact length of time and time depends on the specific training process and hardware resource required. It requires a massive amount of computation, right? And I'll show you why. What is the reason it requires a massive amount of computation? It was for training. It requires a lot of amount of information. Now, these are some images which I have taken, right, from the internet, basically trying to build how it really works, right, and from where they get this idea of neural networks. So things in pink here, right, and can anyone guess what it is? Just a wild guess. Neurons, yes. So this is the actual image, the brain of a human brain, which was cut and which was put on the glass and it was seen under the electron microscope, right? How does it look? So it's smeared onto the glass, and when they saw how it actually looks, it looks something like this, right? Now, if I and what I did is I just took one image and put into a bigger image here. You can see this image, right? This is how the neuron looks. This is how our brain has been built, right? अल्लाह पाक ने बनाया है, और ये ब्रेन अगर आप देखोगे तो बिलियंस ऑफ बिलियंस न्यूरॉन्स ऐसे हैं. तो न्यूरॉन्स का स्ट्रक्चर है एक है. कैसा स्ट्रक्चर है? ये एक न्यूरॉन है. I'll tell you why we are studying this, right? The reason behind it. न्यूरॉन है, इसके आगे एक्सॉन होता है, लंबा सा वायर जैसा होता है, और उसके और न्यूरॉन्स के पास डेंड्राइट्स कनेक्टेड होते हैं, और एक न्यूरॉन दूसरे न्यूरॉन से सिनैप्स से कनेक्ट होता है, उसको सिनैप्स बोलते हैं. यहाँ पर आप देख रहे हो जो इलेक्ट्रिकल पल्सेस को दूसरे न्यूरॉन्स को पास ऑन करता है. नाउ इलेक्ट्रिकल पल्सेस, हम लोग के ऑल दी 5 सेंसरी ऑर्गन्स, राइट, वी टच, स्मेल, और हम लोग का जो भी है वो टच होके ब्रेन में जाता है, और वो इलेक्ट्रिकल पल्स बनता है ना, दैट गिव्स द आउटपुट फॉर इट. कुछ गर्म लगा तो हम लोग फट से रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं उसको. तो हाउ डज द ब्रेन नो? ब्रेन डजंट नो अबाउट कि वो आगे नहीं. ब्रेन को खाली इलेक्ट्रिकल सिग्नल समझता है कि ऐसा कुछ हुआ तो मुझे ऐसा रिस्पॉन्ड करना है, क्योंकि हम लोग वैसे ट्रेन हुए हैं, राइट, बिकॉज द ब्रेन हैज बीन ट्रेन दैट वे. तो वो ट्रेनिंग कैसा हुआ है? वो जो न्यूरॉन्स एक्टिवेट हुए हैं, वो गर्म लगने के बाद तो वो न्यूरॉन्स एक्टिवेट हुए, हम लोग को ये रिस्पॉन्ड करने बोला, राइट, दैट्स हाउ इट फंक्शंस. तो वैसे ही इन लोग ने बोले कि एक न्यूरॉन को लेते हैं एंड ट्राई टू ट्रेन विद द डेटा, राइट. सिंगल न्यूरॉन, फॉर एग्जांपल, एक न्यूरॉन ना, इट डजंट, इट्स अ यूजलेस थिंग. वन एक्सॉन, वन डेंड्राइट, एक सिंगल न्यूरॉन इज नॉट वर्थ, इट्स नॉट वर्थ एनीमोर. इट हैज टू कनेक्ट टू द बिलियंस ऑफ द न्यूरॉन्स टू मेक सम इम्पैक्ट. एग्जाम्पल, मैं सोच रहा था कि एक एंट, छोटी सी चूटी है, वो अपने में कुछ कर नहीं सकती अकेले, लेकिन वही एक उन लोग की पूरी कॉलोनी, ये पूरी एक एंट की कॉलोनी बिल्ड करती है. आप लोग देखोगे एंट कॉलोनी काफ़ी बड़ी होती है, राइट, व्हेन दे एक्चुअली डिग इट अप एंड बिगर मैसिव अमाउंट ऑफ एंट कॉलोनी. सेम वे दिस न्यूरॉन्स वर्क. दिस न्यूरॉन्स व्हेन दे आर कनेक्टेड विद द बिलियंस ऑफ न्यूरॉन्स, they process the information really fast, right? Now billions of neurons work together to generate a logical output. Now let me explain you this part, right? This part, right? So these in the green section, x1, x1, x2, right, and these are giving some weights, and you have some function here which is going output. Don't look at the mathematical function which is going inside, but this is how in one of the neuron, basically how ChatGPT was trained, right, the neural network. This is one of the neuron out of it. So it goes inside, all this input goes inside, it processes some information, it gives you an output. Right? That's how it functions. There is a function where you have an input and you have a weights attached to it, and then you have some function written and you get an output. इसका एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ मैं. इसका एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ. एक न्यूरॉन, खाली एक न्यूरॉन को परसेप्ट्रॉन बोलते हैं आर्टिफिशियल न्यूरल नेटवर्क में. उसके एनालॉजी में जैसे यहाँ पर न्यूरॉन है, ह्यूमंस के दिमाग में न्यूरॉन्स होता है, वैसे ही जब आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस हम लोग बिल्ड करते हैं तो एक न्यूरॉन का जो स्ट्रक्चर होता है उसको परसेप्ट्रॉन बोलते हैं. इनपुट लेता है, कुछ फंक्शन एक्टिवेट करता है और एक आउटपुट देता है. Now how perceptron, how it works, right? Suppose you want to calculate the interest amount, right? Simple interest calculate करना है. So what you will need? PNR upon 100, है ना? और हम लोग को आउटपुट मिल जाएगा. But that is a function. वो फंक्शन है. PNR upon 100 करें तो वो रूल बेस्ड है. What if you take a neuron, आप उसको खाली PNR दो और उसको ट्रेन करो कि जब मैं आपको ये PNR देता हूँ ना तो ये आउटपुट आता है. You don't give it the formula the computer. You just give PNR और ये आउटपुट आया 100. ये सेकंड PNR था, उसका आउटपुट ये आया. ये थर्ड PNR था, उसका आउटपुट ये आया. You just give a list to it and you give this information to the model. मॉडल क्या करता है? It will take that PNR, it will apply some weights. ये weights रैंडम है, मतलब कुछ भी रह सकता है, और एक फंक्शन के पास करके एक आउटपुट निकालेगा. तो समझो अगर फर्स्ट रो है PNR, उसका एक्चुअल PNR इज 100, लेकिन इसने कुछ अपने फंक्शन से कैलकुलेट करके उसको 110 कर दिया, क्योंकि उसको नहीं मालूम है, राइट? इसको उसने कुछ फंक्शन वेट मल्टीप्लाई किया और वो PNR की वैल्यू लिया और कुछ एक आउटपुट देके 110 कर दिया. तो वो 110 देखेगा और 100 देखेगा, बोलेगा ओ देयर इज अ डिफरेंस ऑफ 10, आई डिड समथिंग रॉन्ग, लेट मी गो एंड बैक प्रोपोगेट. उसको बैक प्रोपोगेशन बोलते हैं. लेट मी बैक प्रोपोगेट एंड सी व्हाट आई डिड रॉन्ग. तो वो क्या करेगा? वेट चेंज करेगा रैंडमली. ये W1, W2, W3 को वेट चेंज करेगा और देखेगा कि वो नंबर पे अराइव हो रहा है कि नहीं 100 पे. उसको ट्रेनिंग बोलते हैं. वो नंबर्स को आपने पहले PNR दिया, उसको वैल्यू दिया, PNR दिया, वैल्यू, आपने फॉर्मूला नहीं दिया उसको. मॉडल को यू हैव नॉट गिवन द फॉर्मूला, यू हैव गिवन द इनपुट, यू हैव गिवन द आउटपुट, एंड देन यू आर जस्ट चेंजिंग द वेट्स. सो दिस इज हाउ द ट्रेनिंग हैपेंस, राइट, टू द मॉडल. ये ChatGPT भी आज जो काम कर रहा होगा उसके डीप लर्निंग मॉडल में भी एक ऐसा न्यूरॉन होगा जो ये कैलकुलेट करता है, राइट? ओके, लेट मी गिव मी 5 मिनट्स. थोड़ा मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि कैसे ये लैंग्वेज मॉडलिंग होती है, मतलब हाउ डज इट हैपन. एंड कंप्यूटर डजंट अंडरस्टैंड ऑल दिस थिंग. मतलब उसको इंग्लिश नहीं समझता है कुछ भी, उसको खाली बाइनरी समझता है. दे अंडरस्टैंड ओनली बाइनरी लैंग्वेज. तो सपोज फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक मॉडल था पहले, ये ChatGPT से बहुत पहले एक मॉडल था, उसको बैक ऑफ वर्ड्स मॉडल बोलते थे. तो बैक ऑफ वर्ड्स मॉडल क्या करता था? एक एग्जाम्पल जैसे कैट सैट, द कैट सैट इन दी हैट. तो ये फर्स्ट सेंटेंस में क्या है? द कैट सैट. तो उसको 111 कर दिया. वो मॉडल ऐसा चलता था. द कैट सैट इन दी हैट, जैसे अब द 2 बार रिपीट हुआ तो उसका 2 काउंट बढ़ गया. थर्ड में द कैट सैट इन दी हैट, द सेम वे ये उसने एक एरे बना दिया. अब ये एक्चुअली जो कंप्यूटर को फीड होता है ना, ये एरे फीड होता है. इट डजंट फीड दिस ये कॉन्टेक्चुअल इंफॉर्मेशन फीड नहीं होती. व्हाट गेट्स फीडेड इज दिस इंफॉर्मेशन फॉर द बैक ऑफ वर्ड्स मॉडल. लेकिन ये मॉडल में कुछ प्रॉब्लम था. द प्रॉब्लम क्या था? द रीजन आई एडेड दिस बैक ऑफ वर्ड बिकॉज देन द ChatGPT का ट्रांसफॉर्म आर्किटेक्चर, देन यू विल अंडरस्टैंड, राइट, हाउ विल इट. इसका फिक्स इनपुट साइज था और आउटपुट साइज भी येस और नो में था. फिक्स साइज भी आउटपुट था. तो सपोज एग्जांपल था, इज कैट शॉर्टर देन अ डॉग. अगर वो ट्रेन हुआ है येस पे, अगर वो मॉडल ट्रेन हुआ है इज कैट शॉर्टर देन अ डॉग, तो वो येस बोलता था. अगर हम लोगों ने खाली कैट और डॉग को रिप्लेस कर दिया, इज डॉग शॉर्टर देन अ कैट, तो भी वो येस बोलेगा. क्यों? क्योंकि उसके पास कॉन्टेक्स्ट नहीं है. वो खाली क्या कर रहा है? वर्ड्स को लेके उसको नंबरिंग करता है, कितनी बार रिपीट हुआ है. तो डॉग भी एक बार हुआ है, कैट भी एक बार हुई है. तो वो उसको लगता था कि मैं ट्रेन हुआ हूँ इसके लिए आंसर येस देने के लिए, तो वो इसके लिए भी आंसर येस देता था. तो ये बहुत बड़ा फ्लॉ था ये मॉडल के अंदर, राइट? यू गॉट गेटिंग मी, राइट, एवरीबॉडी, राइट? बिकॉज देयर इज अ इंफॉर्मेशन लॉस हियर. It was plainly just looking at the words and adding a number to it, and based on this number it was getting trained, and once it was trained it is spitting out the reply back to it. तो वही अगर किसी ने उसको कॉन्टेक्स्ट चेंज कर दिया, स्टिल इट इज टेलिंग यस, तो ये मॉडल गलत है. लेकिन चैट जीपीटी बहुत स्मार्ट है, उसका मॉडल बहुत स्मार्ट है, क्योंकि वो कॉन्टेक्स्ट अपने पास रखता है कि किसके बारे में बात हो रही है, राइट? ओके, सो व्हाट आई डोंट वांट टू प्रॉब्ली, किसको मालूम नहीं है, लेकिन दिस इज हाउ चैट जीपीटी इज बिल्ट ऑन. इट्स बिल्ट ऑन रिकरेंट न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स, उसको RNN बोलते हैं. बिकॉज नाउ दिस RNN इट holds the information of the contextual information, right? It doesn't lose that context. अब वो कैसे चलता है? It works. I have given the source as well of this, right? It works on the concept called word embedding. ठीक है? Will not go deep into it, right? हम लोग अंदर नहीं जाएंगे, लेकिन मैं आप लोग खाली बताना चाह रहा हूँ कि how does it progresses, right? From making a smarter chatbot. Now let me ask this guy. Are you built on RNN? Transformer, right? Okay. Do you use word embedding? I use word embedding as techniques to represent the words in a high dimensional space to capture their semantic relationship. This is very technical. This allows me to do better वो आएगा उसके अंदर, such as word to vec and faster text. So it is using this technology, right? It is just telling the same thing, right? Now I'll take some information from here and explain you what makes sense, right? So जैसे कि back of word से context was losing the information, we moved to the recurrent neural networks. लेकिन recurrent neural networks भी enough नहीं था to cater it, so they went to transformer model. Now transformer model में they had a function called attention is all you need, right? So this is a paper which was published by the Google Brains, and based on this the ChatGPT, the transformer work was built. इट्स अ सेल्फ वैलिडेशन मॉडल, वो हम लोग नहीं जाते. अभी कभी भी आप देखोगे ना चैट जीपीटी के बारे में कहीं लिखा रहेगा कि 175 बिलियन पैरामीटर्स है, इसका 100 ट्रिलियन पैरामीटर्स है चैट जीपीटी को. वो पैरामीटर्स क्या होता है? हैज एनीवन सीन दिस थिंग एनीवेयर? दिस इज बेस्ड ऑन 175. इफ यू हैव सीन दिस information. Now what is this 175 billion parameters? It's the weights which we have seen earlier, right? ये जो weights है ना, ये वही है basically. Okay, let's ask. तो जो बोला ना 175 बिलियन पैरामीटर बना है, बेसिकली वो उसका वेट्स है. तो आप वेट्स एंड पैरामीटर सेम, यस, इन कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स द वेट्स एंड पैरामीटर्स टिपिकली रिफर्स टू द सेम थिंग. So it's the weights what is important. Again just to reiterate that what was that weight, हम लोगों ने उसको PNR दिए थे, एक आउटपुट था प्रिंसिपल, नंबर ऑफ ईयर्स और रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, और हम लोगों ने उसको फॉर्मूला नहीं दिए थे. तो वो PNR को वेट से मल्टीप्लाई करके एक नंबर पे आता था. इट वॉज ट्राइंग टू कम एज क्लोज एज टू दैट नंबर विच इज वॉज ट्रेन्ड ऑन, राइट? नाउ वंस इट हैज कम टू द क्लोजेस्ट नंबर, तो वो वेट्स को उसने कैप्चर कर लिया कि ये वेट्स पे मुझे ये आउटपुट आता है विच इज राइट, राइट? सो दैट इज द वेट विच इज इट हैज कैप्चर्ड, इट हैज ट्रेन्ड ऑन. तो उसको इसलिए बोलते हैं 175 बिलियन जो ChatGPT 3 है, और ChatGPT 4 के लिए बोलते हैं कुछ 100 ट्रिलियन है, क्योंकि वो इमेजेस वीडियोस सबके ऊपर ट्रेन हुआ है. तो द वेट्स आर इम्पोर्टेंट ऑन दैट. ये I'll share this ChatGPT. If you have some time, you can see this example. The example is quickly I'll show you in 30 seconds. Probably you will understand what does it really use. So creating a word embedding, coding the Python, you can code it in Python, right? Is it? Now, what's the problem? The problem was they want to associate the words. King है तो man होना चाहिए, queen है तो woman होना चाहिए. This is they want to connect. But computer doesn't understand all this thing. Computer understand only binary language. How does it work? So suppose this was a sentence. I'm only taking 1 minute to make you understand this. The future king is the prince, right? So what does it do? It take a window of a complete sentence, a window of 2. तो क्या करता है? The future, the king. और ये फर्स्ट लाइन का ही वो एक 18 डेटा पॉइंट्स बनाता है. कैसे? आगे के 2 वर्ड और पीछे के 2 वर्ड ऐसे लेता है. जैसे द फ्यूचर द किंग, फिर फ्यूचर द फ्यूचर किंग, फिर किंग रहेगा तो किंग द किंग फ्यूचर, किंग इज किंग द. Why it is doing this? Because it want to keep the context with it. पहले क्या था, उसके बाद में क्या है. जितना बड़ा विंडो साइज होता जाएगा उतना बड़ा डेटा पॉइंट्स होता जाएगा, और उस तरह से वो ट्रेन होता जाएगा. चैट जीपीटी का विंडो साइज बहुत ज़्यादा है, वो पैरामीटर में आता है उसको ट्रेन करने के टाइम. इसलिए जब उसको हम लोग लिखते हैं तो उसको कॉन्टेक्स्ट समझ में आता है कि किस बारे में बात हो रही है. तो ये इसने ये वर्ड एम्बेडिंग यूज़ किया हुआ है. ये लिंक है, यू कैन इम्प्लीमेंट इन पाइथन, आप भी कर सकते हो. तो फाइनली व्हाट इट कम्स इज यू कैन एसोसिएट अ वर्ड with its context. If a king है तो it will relate to a man, and if it is a queen it will relate to a woman. Based on what? Based on what you have trained it. Right? वो ये देखता है कि कौन किसके साथ ज़्यादा बार एसोसिएट हुआ है. जैसे कि the prince is a strong man, है ना. तो ये उसके एसोसिएशन से it comes to know about that information. It's very high level, but this is how it got trained, and this is how the technology entering technology based. Finally, this is going to scare you. This is the model which has been used in the ChatGPT, right? The attention mechanism. All those boxes again is nothing, is just the same neuron model which you have seen earlier. ये जो बॉक्स दिख रहा है ना आप लोग, एक बॉक्स इनपुट एम्बेडिंग मल्टी हेड, वो एक न्यूरल नेटवर्क है. और वो एक न्यूरल नेटवर्क जो उन्होंने स्टार्टिंग में देखे थे परसेप्ट्रॉन, वो एक मॉडल है. नथिंग मोर देन दैट. बट दे हैव कनेक्टेड इन सच अ वे दैट it also remembers the contextual information, what to respond, and what's the best response to it, right? The probability, it uses the probability on that. ठीक है. So I think it was a little bit heavy, but the idea was just to make you understand how it really works, right? It's not a magic, it's a model which finally gets trained on it. उसका एक weight बनता है, वही weight से it is basically responding back to you, and it all connects back to what your neuron is, right? You also take electrical pulses, and based on the model you have trained on, you reply back, you react to it, right? That's how it has been done. Any questions?
I understand that. Are we going to cover the difference between the upgrade or the paid version of the ChatGPT, something like that?
है ChatGPT 4+ है, सेम उसका मॉडल चेंज हुआ है.
पेड वर्जन में कुछ एडिशनल फीचर्स
हाँ है, ChatGPT Plus है. उसके अंदर I have seen one of the videos, I have not used myself. What they have done is it currently this model was trained only on text, right? Only on text. But this model which has come, it has trained on images and also on videos. So if you give an image to it, right, it will reply. Suppose you want to make a UI, right? I want to make a UI something like this with a box and name, login like this. You just give an image to this ChatGPT 4, and in response it will give you all the HTML code with it. It's like that. So it has now also rendering the information. तो अभी वो फ्री हैंड है ना, फ्री हैंड उस पर ट्रेन हुआ है, मतलब ह्यूमन राइटिंग पे. बनाओ ह्यूमन राइटिंग पे भी इट्स अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टास्क टू ट्रेन. जैसे कि सी लिखने का स्टाइल वुड बी डिफरेंट, राइट, फॉर सम ऑफ यू. तो बट इट हैज बीन ट्रेन्ड ऑन न्यूमरस सी रिटन बाय द ह्यूमन. तो उतना वो ट्रेन हुआ उसके ऊपर कि अच्छा ऐसा स्ट्रक्चर आया, ऐसा स्ट्रक्चर है. बट सी फाइनली व्हाट इज डन इज इमेज है, उसके पीछे बाइनरी है 1010, और वो बाइनरी को वेक्टर में कन्वर्ट करता है. इफ एवरीवन इज फ्रॉम द साइंस बैकग्राउंड दे नो, राइट, वेक्टर एंड स्केलर. इट कन्वर्ट इनटू द वेक्टर एंड दैट वेक्टर इज फेड इनटू द मॉडल. अब वो देखता है कि अच्छा जब ये वेक्टर आता है तो इसका मतलब ये है इतना पार्ट, अच्छा जब ये वेक्टर हाईलाइटेड हो तो इतना पार्ट. इट हैज ट्रेन्ड ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर वेक्टर. So that is on the videos. Now what you can do is you want to create a complete video itself. You just give a script. I need a video of a kids playing with horse, something like this. It will generate a video for you. क्योंकि उसके अंदर वो कैपेबिलिटी है. It has trained on that. वो टेक्स्ट लेगा, वीडियोस लेगा, वैसे वीडियोस को फाइंड करेगा. हाँ, it will give the actual video.
That is in paid version.
Virtual reality or artificial intelligence.
That's a paid version of it. ChatGPT 4+. Okay, I have some time. I'll continue. So this I want to spend 15 minutes on the architecture. I know it was a heavy topic, but I'll put some on the WhatsApp group to understand it better, right? But I just wanted to make you understand this is how it works, the neural architecture. Now there are different ways to earn money, right, on ChatGPT. If anyone has any account on this Fiverr and Upwork, it's a freelancing portal. Just go, you can create an account. If you have a Gmail account, you can go and quickly create it. And once you have, there are a lot of work which is available, like content creation, blogging, SEO blogging, virtual assistant. Now, virtual assistant is something where you have to assist a guy. Like suppose there are a lot of company CEO who doesn't want to write a email or doesn't want to reply back to the email. They want a PowerPoint presentation. They want a Word doc to be structured. They want it to be a proofreading of that. All those things are called a virtual assistant. Right? You are an assistant, but you are a virtual assistant. They upload all this work on the internet, and then whoever does it, they pay them according to the hourly basis. Now, how it helps, right? ChatGPT, because ChatGPT content is all. It's not copyright based because we're with the open AI, right? It's all developed by the AI engine itself, right? No one owns it, so you can use the content. So first of all, just create on the Fiverr and Upwork, get those credentials, and let's say SEO blogging. Anyone know SEO, search engine optimization, right? Now there are a lot of people who are paying for the blogs. They create a website, but they want to route the traffic to their website. Now, how to route the traffic to their website? Basically, anyone who's going to search on the Google, they're going to come back and their landing page will be the first one. Now, a lot of people are doing it, right? Then how to bypass that? Then you have to write a blogs which is SEO friendly, which is the Google. It runs according to the Google engine. Google के engine जैसे recognize करता है उसको, right? So you can tell ChatGPT, I want to write a blog which is SEO friendly, and this is a keyword you have to use multiple times in your blogging, and it will do that work for you, right? So ChatGPT 3.5 is capable of doing that, right? And you can just directly take that content and push it on the blog, or you can give it to the Fiverr. So first thing is you have to have some freelancing portal. There are a lot of freelancing portal available. Fiverr, Upwork is two of them. Amazon product description. This is very interesting, right? There are a lot of people, they upload their product, they want to sell something on the Amazon, right? But they struggle to write something about that product itself, right? Product description, क्या लिखो ना? Product description is not important for us user, right? हम लोग जो कंज्यूमर है उसके लिए हम लोग कहाँ पढ़ते हैं पूरा उसका कंज्यूमर, हम लोग खाली रिव्यूज देखते हैं, कौन सा अच्छा है, क्या टॉप रैंकिंग है, वो ले लेते हैं नॉर्मली, इतना ज़्यादा डिस्क्रिप्शन कोई पढ़ता नहीं है. लेकिन इट इज़ यूज फॉर रैंकिंग. गूगल यूज़ करता है उसको, गूगल वो कंटेंट को यूज़ करता है डिस्क्रिप्शन पे based on the demand from the keyword search, and then it ranks your page first in the product description. That is used there. So if you go to Amazon product and you say I want a description about this, or 250 character description about this product, right? Let's try something. अभी कर लेते हैं.
Can you integrate the ChatGPT with other website integration, API integration, free open source?
ओपन सोर्स है. आई शो यू. हम लोग 3 एप्लीकेशन बनाएंगे आज, छोटे छोटे एप्लीकेशन बनाएंगे और हम लोग इंटीग्रेट करेंगे ओपन एआई से. ठीक है. कैन यू गिव मी 250 वर्ड्स प्रोडक्ट डिस्क्रिप्शन. फॉर एन अलार्म क्लॉक. हम लोग ने अलार्म क्लॉक मंगा लिए हैं एंड वी वांट टू सेल इट. That's it. If we going to sit down and write all this thing, it's going to take a lot of time, right? So you can just copy paste this content. You have to do a little bit of proofreading of it. It's not like everything is correct. एक तो देखना पड़ेगा, एक ground देखना पड़ेगा, and then you can write it. But the idea is introducing our new state-of-the-art alarm clock designed to be a perfect wake-up solution for anyone seeking. See, it's like human has written this product description, right? And it's really nice.
And change होगा next time.
If you say I want to regenerate this response,
Try to
right?
create a unique thing.
Right. I don't want this. Introducing the perfect bedside companion. See again, but don't get in awe of it, right? I'm just telling you the reason it has been trained that way, and I'll tell you how it works is it knows the context. So you have asked, can you give me a 250 words product description of alarm clock? So it has used alarm clock, and somewhere from any text it has been trained कि alarm clock के बाद ये word आता है. क्यों आता है? क्योंकि वो weights वैसा दिया हुआ है, तो वो उसको लेके वो ये लिखता है. हाँ, वो कहीं से ट्रेन हुआ है अलार्म क्लॉक के ऊपर, और अलार्म क्लॉक के ऊपर और प्रोडक्ट डिस्क्रिप्शन से. इट हैज़ बीन ट्रेन समवेयर, अमेजोन से ही हुआ होगा. और उसने फिर अपना कंटेंट कैसे बनाया, तो उसने वेट्स लिया, ये और ये वेट्स के बाद क्या लिखना है. और जब भी वो कुछ जनरेट करता है ना, whatever it generates is also fed back into the model again कि मैं next output क्या दूँ उसको. You're getting right? Suppose it has given my specific, let's say not this one. The alarm clock is packed with the features to make your life easier. It has a USB charging port. इसने लिखा ना, it has a USB charging port that is fed back into the model again. तो उसको लगता है कि अच्छा USB charging port के बाद क्या आता था, मैं जिससे ट्रेन हुआ हूँ. So you can keep your phone on the other devices charged while you sleep, right? I show you model में there is lot of time it feedbacks to itself, right? इनपुट में एनकोडिंग होता है, जो आउटपुट आता है ना वो भी अपने आप को रिटर्न देता है मॉडल के अंदर, राइट? दैट्स हाउ इट फंक्शंस. But I'll tell you 90% of the job is done.
No, 90, yeah, that's true.
I don't know, I think that was information are accurate.
हाँ मतलब I'll tell you that's my last thing which I'm going to add.
It is 5, so you tried the other was 5.
Google also tried something and they fell back on it. I mean, they tried Google also had some kind of what's called that's the name.
Bard AI.
And there was a very famous, miscalculation. Who was the first one to from the space? What was the size or something? And the Bard failed, and stock prices also fell by.
See, it's a model, right? It will spit out whatever it has been trained on, right? It's not like it's someone who knows everything. जिसको आप जो ट्रेन करोगे वैसा वो आपको आउटपुट देगा. It's like that.
You know what you're asking. The keywords are very, very important. You have to be very specific.
Keyword and also the context of it, right?
Nowadays, even students are using it to solve like very problems.
For copying.
Let's say, can you give me 10 ways to generate income from ChatGPT?
No, but there is a limitation to it. I think that's a subject of discussion.
Guys, just 1 minute. So when you say, can you give me 10 ways to generate income from ChatGPT, right? So let's say you can develop a chatbot. See, OpenAI has kept this model open. Anyone can go and integrate with OpenAI and use this model. वो मैंने आपको स्टार्टिंग में दिखाया था प्लेग्राउंड में टेक्स्ट दाविंची, राइट? वो मॉडल ओपन है, यू कैन गो एंड यूज इट. यू जस्ट नीड अ की एंड यू कैन बिल्ड योर ओन ऐप, एंड्रॉइड ऐप या मोबाइल ऐप आप बनाओ, उसमें चैटबॉट बनाओ, वो आपसे बात करेगा. यू कैन बिल्ड इट. सो फाइनली व्हाट इट गोज इज रिक्वेस्ट विल गो टू OpenAI इटसेल्फ एंड वो आपको रिस्पॉन्ड बैक कर रहा है. तो जैसे ChatGPT का एक हम लोग के पास इंटरफेस है, वैसे यू ऑल्सो कैन बिल्ड योर इंटरफेस एंड यू कैन स्पीक टू OpenAI प्लेटफॉर्म. So these are the different ways you can do it, right? So the way I want to show was it is giving me some different ways to do it. But the best thing is you can go and see the detailed version of it. So let's say it has given me 10 points, and if you go and say, can you elaborate on point 3? So it will go and elaborate on point 3 as well, right? Okay, so let's say certainly confidence भी है इसके बाद.
I think just voice it out to the people in the camera will be able to.
What was the third point? Machine translation. Machine translation is basically used for your language translation, right? Your English to French, French to Japanese, and Japanese and everything. Right? Yeah. So it's what you can do it also, right? It has a translation model as well. So the point is just to make you guys aware, right? You will get a lot of information how to do these things, but just to make you aware how you can use it, right? Simple thing. Like from the coding background. So and you want to make an HTML page for login and sign up page, right? So you can say, can you build a sign up page?
I don't have this thing.
No. Okay. Probably the prompt which I have given is incorrect. I should have asked it more properly. So that could be the reason. Okay. Can you give me the code for login in PHP? So the reason it did not answer correctly, probably I was not asking it correctly. So basically, it's basically more of prompt driven. The more accurate your question is, it will respond back to you more properly, right? So if you really need something, and in fact, we'll go through one example, which is very difficult for a human to solve as well, but it solves very quickly for us, right? हम लोग एक अभी example करेंगे. Basically, anyone who is coder and use HackerRank or lead coder. HackerRank you have used, right? So basically, just want to give you a brief, right? If you want to practice coding, so these platforms, what they do is they give you the problem statement. Like this is what the problem statement is. These are the constraints, and these are the input parameters. And for this, you have to write a code. Basically, it's for your practice. For practice, right? If you are practicing Java, C++, any language, and then you have to write a code on the web interface on the right hand side of the platform, and then you have to run it, and you say, is it right or wrong? The interface itself will tell you this is the right program, right? The program which you have written is correct. So मैंने क्या किया? What I have done is I have taken the problem statement from this platform. I have fed to the model. I say give me the solution. It has given me the solution. I have taken the code and I have pasted it there directly. So वहाँ पर problem statement था, and I copied it, I put it to the platform, and it gave me the code directly, and I ran. It worked. We'll do it today, right? So this is how it is. So this is it, right, guys? You can go and test it. Copywriting is also one of these things, right? This is basically all your help, right? You can go and suppose you want to write blogs, you want to write a document, a marketing platform, a campaigning, anything related to the marketing or campaigning which comes under copywriting, you can do it using this. You just have to give a proper prompt to it, and it will reply back the answer. Just do a proofreading of it and just give it to the right. Create and sell digital images. इसका भी एग्जाम्पल देखेंगे हम लोग. यू कैन क्रिएट अ डिजिटल इमेज विच इज़ नॉट कॉपीराइटेड. वो क्योंकि वो इमेज है ही नहीं अब तक दुनिया में. आप उसको प्रॉम्प्ट करोगे तो द वे इट हैज़ बीन ट्रेन्ड ऑन, वो उन लोगों को क्लब करके इट विल प्रिपेयर अ न्यू इमेज फॉर यू, राइट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक बहुत फेमस एग्जाम्पल है उसका डाले का. डाले इज ऑल्सो ओपन एआई प्लेटफॉर्म का प्रोडक्ट है. जैसे ChatGPT है वैसे डाले भी है, डाले 2. तो उसको आप बोलो कि एस्ट्रोनॉट राइडिंग ए हॉर्स, राइट. This image is not there anywhere, but it will take astronaut and it will take horse and it will prepare some image for you and it will give it to you. It's like that. It's like text to image.
That belongs to this company.
OpenAI. And there are
Mr. If I want to say, now I don't think they are capable to bring a proper slide of presentation.
That also doing it. There is one application called tom.ai, TOMM.ai. So there are a lot of people, what they're doing is they're building their own products on top of OpenAI itself.
So, but I think tom.ai, these are not free.
They are not free, but these are tools. But in ChatGPT 4 and 3, these capabilities are there. So, but you can't directly print the slides. What you can do is you can tell them, can you just give me 10 slides about this, and it will give you the content about for each of these slides. And then you have to use different AI tools to come up with that work. So suppose there is an AI tool where you can create a videos from text. Okay, so this is the text. Can you please create a video for me? So what it will do, it will go and find the similar images for that particular text, and it will embed to the video and play it for 30 seconds. Let's say you say I want a 30-second video on education, of child education. तो सबसे पहले आपको ChatGPT में जाने को बोलना है, give me 10 slides about child education. तो आपको देगा कंटेंट. वो कॉपी करो आप और एक टेक्स्ट टू वीडियो के AI प्लेटफॉर्म पे जाओ. वो भी फ्री है. कुछ तो इन वीडियो करके है, वो भी फ्री है. उसको आप जाके बोलो कि मुझे इसका वीडियो बना के दो, तो वो चाइल्ड एजुकेशन में जाके ऐसे कोई गरीब बच्चे को लेके आएगा, कोई कंप्यूटर पढ़ रहा है, ऐसे लेके वो अपना एक वीडियो आपको बिल्ड करके दे देगा. सो अगेन यू डोंट हैव टू इन्वेस्ट टाइम देयर. Just like that.
Murshid, are you going to cover the threat to the labor force or workforce? Are you going to cover that topic as well due to this technology?
That's my last slide.
You're going to cover that.
हाँ, last slide है. सब कुछ होने के बाद कि क्या जॉब जाएगा है कि नहीं वो मालूम पड़ेगा. ठीक है. फिर एप्स बिल्ड कर सकते हो. जैसे मैंने बोला कि लॉट ऑफ पीपल व्हाट दे आर डूइंग इज OpenAI फ्री है, तो उसके ऊपर अपना प्रोडक्ट बिल्ड करते हैं एंड देन दे सेल इट, राइट. जैसे टेक्स्ट क्लासिफिकेशन करना है, लैंग्वेज ट्रांसलेशन करना है, उर्दू में करना है, इंग्लिश से उर्दू करना है. अगर किसी को ChatGPT के बारे में नहीं मालूम है, वो जाके एंड्रॉइड में आपका ऐप डाउनलोड करेगा. सो यू कैन लेवरेज दैट, राइट, बेसिकली एट दैट पर्टिकुलर केस. सोशल मीडिया मार्केटिंग में बहुत यूज़ होता है. व्हाट्सअप मैसेजिंग, ये वो. आप उसको बोलो कि मुझे ना एक बना के दो व्हाट्सअप मैसेज, वो आपको बना के देगा. कैन यू, हाँ, किसी को बनाना है कोई इवेंट के लिए, तो उन्होंने डालते हैं यहाँ पर किसके लिए?
आज ही केवल के रिपोर्ट बना लो।
रिपोर्ट नहीं, हम लोग व्हाट्सएप मैसेज के लिए, मतलब फिर की टी का वेज ऐसा एंड यू क्रिएट अ व्हाट्सएप मैसेज।
ऐसे बंदा कोई जिम में वर्कआउट कर रहा है, उसको कैप्शन डालना है।
हाँ
वर्कआउट कैप्शन।
हाँ डाल सकते ना, इंस्टाग्राम का वो भी
बनाएगा वो।
सब। ChatGPT with 3 key takeaways with emoticons, emojis के साथ चाहिए। ये इमोटिकॉन्स के साथ बनाएगा, मतलब उसको थोड़ा बोलोगे ना प्रॉम्प्ट प्रॉपर्ली, वैसा ऐसा करके दे देगा एंड जस्ट टू कॉपी एंड पेस्ट इट योर व्हाट्सएप, इट विल वर्क। सेम फॉर इंस्टाग्राम। तो सोशल मीडिया पे अगर बहुत सारे क्या होता है, ये जो अपवर्क और फाइवर में ना, दे डोंट वांट टू डू देयर सोशल मीडिया पैकेज, दे गिव इट टू समवन एल्स दैट यू मैनेज माय कंप्लीट वेबसाइट एंड एवरीथिंग फॉर दिस मैसेजेस, कैंपेनिंग एंड एवरीथिंग। So you can just go here and prepare the message and you can upload it. This is very nice. मतलब all these things can be done very nicely with this. ठीक है, ये एक application था. Okay, for we have still 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes. So we are going to do 3 things. Create a digital images. Right? We are going to create a digital image using an API है. ये एक जो हमने लीड कोड सोल्यूशन जनरेटर बोला था, और एक ऑटो रिस्पॉन्स वाला. So I've already done some code for this, but let me show it to you how it was done. This is for the create and sell. So you can sell digital images, right, on the platform. जैसे कि एक प्लेटफॉर्म है Etsy करके, किसी ने सुना है Etsy? यहाँ पर इमेजेस सेल होती है, मतलब आपको कुछ बिल्ड करना है, एप्लीकेशन कुछ भी करना है, तो आपने कोई इमेज बनाई है, इफ यू वांट टू सेल इट, इट्स बीइंग हियर, राइट? जैसे कि ये है ऐसा कुछ, तो फॉलन लीव्स, राइट, फॉर एग्जांपल कितना रुपए का बेच रहा है ये? Selling for 769 rupees. So you can sell. People are just, you can do, if you are interested in photography, you get a good picture, put your copyright, and you can sell it on this platform. Now, let's say you want to prepare a similar image, right, using DALL-E. Now, what is DALL-E? DALL-E is again one of the product of OpenAI. जैसे ChatGPT है, वैसे DALL-E है. वो क्या करता है? टेक्स्ट को इमेज कन्वर्ट करता है. वो किधर है? DALL-E Labs. It's again an OpenAI product. It's a system that creates realistic images and art of form description in natural language processing. So you want to try it? Let's try this out. Anything? Anyone wants to try anything? Anything? मैं डालता हूँ Imam with DJ. Let's see how it is.
Why is it so inaccurate?
I have written a context that Imam with DJ.
Imam
with DJ, right? So it has been trained कि इमाम ऐसा दिखता है और डीजे है, तो वो क्लब कर दिया उसको, है ना? It's, you can build anything like this, right? And these are all, it's not copyrighted, right? So this is one of the platform which they have done. Now, if you want to do it yourself, right? This has been charged. I think there is a pricing on this for some point. and then it's charged. So if you want to build an application, all you have to do is uh, just go on this platform.openai.com, which I said initially, right? The first thing, and on your account, there's a personal. Click on this, and there's a key called View API Keys. So I created one key for myself. So this is I created. So you can also go and create this key. This key is responsible for your application to speak to OpenAI platform, right? So you're going to make an HTTP request to OpenAI. You're going to provide this key to it, and then it's going to respond back if the key is correct. So I've used this key in my application. I'll show it to you. So this is image creation app, right? The code is really simple. I'm not going to rewrite it because in the interest of time, we have very less time now. I just explain you what it does. So first of all, it will take the key, the OpenAI.api key, right? So this key I have put into the environment variables. It is just fetching it from there, right? I don't want to show it here. So once you have the key, there's a library called Streamlit. It's used to build the HTML for the Python. It's really make it very simple. You don't have to write the complete HTML code. It will write it for you. So I have said dial to image creator and image description. There is a box which is been created, and the only important line here is this line, OpenAI.image.create. This is a line very important. But before that, you have to create your platform here. Platform as in you have to create your virtual environment in Python, and you have to import all the OpenAI libraries. Once you have done that, you will be able to use OpenAI. So once you have this OpenAI image creation, and then you just run it. I'll just try to run this one.
So do I have to install anything for quick install it?
Okay, just I did it incorrectly. I think it should be done like this. So you have to have a PyCharm. You have to have a Python 3.7.1 का latest version होना चाहिए, because OpenAI works on that. And then you have to have a Python virtual environment.
No, I am saying that do we have to have a package from BIP or any?
Right, that's what I'm saying. You need to have OpenAI library installed. Pip install OpenAI. So you don't have to run it directly. I did it wrong. You have to give a command called Streamlit, run, and then you have to say image creation. What's the name of it? Image creation. Okay, I'm in a different one. So what is this? This is basically an application built on Dale, OpenKey. मैंने कुछ नहीं किया है, मैंने एक छोटा सा एप्लीकेशन लिखा है पाइथन में, जो हम लोग डाले अभी यूज़ कर रहे थे, उसने मुझे एक की दिया था, और वो मैं की को यूज़ करके उसको ही हिट करूँगा, उसकी सर्विस को. आई ट्राई टू रन समथिंग, राइट. लेट्स से वो जो एचसी का इमेज था ना, कौन सा था, ये है ना, तो ये इसका इमेज है, फॉल फेल्ट लीव्स. Generated something, but this is the original image, digital image, which has been created from Dale itself. You can see this is a response basically which comes from OpenAI, and this response we have routed to the stream. So no one has a copyright on this, right? You can use this image. You can use a different image and you can just sell it on the platform as well. Right. This was one of the application. We'll just close this. We'll run other application as well called Streamlit run lead code वाला lead code generation. This is nice, huh? First you have to have an account on lead code. I'll show you what lead code is and you will understand. Basically all the tech giants company, right? If you want to go, Amazon, Microsoft, if you are planning to go in these tier 1 companies, so basically people usually prepare from here, all these platforms. So all the questions which they ask is already available here.
It's like a learning platform.
Yeah, it's a learning platform, but it's interactive because you can directly practice the problem statement itself. So interview bit is there, lead code is there. So anyone who wants to switch to tier 1, right, they have to go through this particular platform.
Most of us doesn't know all this, the websites or even if you can highlight.
And this is all free, yeah. This is all free. The lead code is paid version is there for the advanced questions, but at least for the basic questions all free.
The problem is like
What is available?
90% of people would not be doing this. Lead code be executed.
I'm making a note.
Coding is strong and एकदम strong. This is the best platform to do it.
Murshid, we have already shared some links on that data.
That was data science specific, very data science specific.
What the SAF is saying, when we send this message to them, they should have some URLs
reference material.
They can forward it to somebody who can utilize.
Yeah, so last time I have given a series of data science YouTube playlist, which is free, and it is from the Andrew Ng, the person. He's a god like of data science, right? It's all available. Andrew Ng, and this guy is teaching free on the YouTube.
Can you make him show?
I have a list.
How do you spell it?
I'll have a list. I'll send it to you in the group itself. Right? That's the data science. I don't want to get into it right now because I just want to. So this is a lead code platform, right? You can see there are different problems here, right? And you can see the companies which they have asked. Usually most of them, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, right? All of the tier 1 companies. So let's take one of the problem. So this is how the interface look like, right? You have a problem statement, longest substring without repeating characters. ये find करना है, code करना है इसको, right? And you have a language available here. कौन से language में करना है? Python 3 है. तो ये Java भी है. So let me, because I have done it earlier, so that's why it's there. Let me remove this. तो ये problem statement रहता है कि ये input है, and you have to code it, and then you have to write your code here, and then you have to submit it. If your code is right, it will tell you your code is right. So let's take this complete code, this issue, right, with the constraints as well. I have not taken anything, I have just taken the problem statement. If you go to the problem statement and you go here and you say I want in Java. What is this code we have done? This is calling the OpenAI. वो chatbot इस पे train हुआ है ये problem statement पे. ये प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट पे ट्रेन हुआ है और कुछ तो सोल्यूशन दिया है इसने मुझे. ये बोला कि ये रन करो. मैंने खाली कॉपी पेस्ट करके रन किया है. लेट्स सी इफ इट वर्क्स. इट वर्कड, राइट? सी, you have to tell run. जब रन करोगे तो वो यूनिट टेस्ट केसेस रन करेगा उसके ऊपर. ये इनपुट वो इनपुट. सी इट एक्सेप्टेड द रिजल्ट.
Actually, the main challenge is there. The test cases.
हाँ, सी हाँ, so it passed, right? So कोड भी लिखता है, उसको प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट दो तो it write codes for you. है ना? तो this is really nice because it has been trained on huge amount of information. So this was one of the case which we have done. And there was another one which was a simple auto response generator. I built it for normally whenever you have your negative reviews, right, on the product or something, on the hotel, there are a lot of traffic driven through these reviews these days, right? Zomato पे किसका review कितना आया, negative review को then hotel owners has to respond on the negative reviews. So your ranking will go down, right? How you address the negative reviews is also a kind of a big challenge. उसके लिए भी people pay, right? They will hire someone, a content writer, and they'll hire a content writer or someone, जैसे ये negative reviews आया है, please respond them nicely, अच्छी language में English में लिखो कि भाई हम लोग आपको problem solve कर देंगे. This is how it is. But so एक इसका ये text classification again it is hitting the this OpenAI का Da Vinci code की model को hit करता है and it reverts back, right? So if you can see this code, right? देखो lead code generator भी was also hitting this model Da Vinci 003. It's the same model which is used by ChatGPT 3.5 currently. So it is also hitting the same API and getting the response back. So you can also build your own custom component and everything on top of it, right? All you need is a key which is already available in the open area.
I want to ask you, you know, when you lead stuff like all social media, can I just directly copy the ChatGPT and get the solution?
ChatGPT will also work. ChatGPT is one way, but this is you have built your own application. This one, you have built your own application here with the key. So at any time ChatGPT or some browser have some issues, right? You can use your application directly here. And this is one of the specific problem which you have addressed through your application. So idea was to tell that there are a lot of possibilities and opportunities which you can, if you have your own idea, then you can leverage OpenAI and you can build on top of it. Right? So my problem area, let's say I thought like, okay, I want to solve this lead code problem. Just an example, just for this session I want to take it. So that's the reason I built one small application and given the problem statement, I got a response back. If someone is interested, they want to know, I want the lead code solution, they will download my application and they will start doing it, right? So based on that, there are several possibilities. You can build your own application on top of OpenAI and you can build it, right? Just like auto response, so let's try to run this as well and see. This is autoresponder. What you can do is you can put a bot. Whenever the negative reviews come in at the end of the day, a human should not be there to respond it. A bot should be there to respond back to it, right? So something like that. Let's say. I'm just writing something review, right? And let's see what it generates.
So you made this application, Murshid?
Yeah. It's a very simple application.
And you integrated the API for ChatGPT.
Right.
That's what you're showing.
Right. Same thing we did with Dale. Same thing we did this lead code one. Same thing we're doing with autoresponder. So I'm not doing anything. I've just called OpenAI and they are responding back to me. So for this negative review, right?
I understand vector code, Python and all that is basically
Only 3 lines of code, see.
But technically, your response is not very customized. It's very generic. Like the review which you got it.
Yeah.
And let's say if it is generating a response, it has to be a little bit of thank you for your.
Thank you for your review. It will, because it has been trained that way, right? So it has been trained that way. The reviews come. So I know. So see, I'll not say that 100% of your work will done, right? At least some portion of the review is going to handle it, right? Someone has responded to your review.
Right.
At least that part has been covered.
Because it looks very robotic.
हाँ वो होता है मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ उसका ना प्लेटफॉर्म पे है और यहाँ से API की से there is a different वो I have observed देखो प्लेग्राउंड
I find it a robotic response. I know as a human, I put this is very robotic. There is nobody taking care of my
see I found little bit of difference here, right? I'll show it to you. If I go to my platform, right? Where is this platform went? ये प्लेग्राउंड है OpenAI का ऐसे लिखते हैं चलो the food in Nizami or restaurant in Marol was not good. It is unfortunate that you are not satisfied with the food at Nizami restaurant in Marol. If you have a chance, you should provide a feedback to the restaurant so they can improve the food and service. है ना ये अच्छा लगा. So this is how it works, right? because
Yeah, I was asking what the coding language. You need to understand the Python, right? To
पाइथन
implement
है, बहुत सिंपल है, I'll show it to you. और पाइथन का कोड भी अवेलेबल है एग्जाम्पल के साथ. ये देखो, टेक्स्ट टू कमांड करना है कुछ तो यहाँ पर दिया हुआ है, कौन से पैरामीटर्स सेट कर सकते हो वो भी दिया हुआ है. यू विल अंडरस्टैंड, जस्ट कॉपी इट एंड पेस्ट इट. बल्कि इनफैक्ट आप यहाँ से प्लेग्राउंड से भी इसका कोड जनरेट कर सकते हो. कहाँ गया प्लेग्राउंड? I'll show you one more thing, right? So let's say हम लोगों ने वो रिव्यू लिखा था ना, ऐसे लिखो प्रॉम्प्ट कोलन डालो और बोलो द फूड एट योर रेस्टोरेंट. अभी कुछ भी लिख रहा हूँ जस्ट टू मेक यू सी हाउ यू कैन जनरेट द कोड एज वेल. वॉज बैड और रिस्पॉन्स ऐसा, ठीक है, एंड देन यू सबमिट इट, है ना. इसने दिया ये, अब इसको आप बोलो इसका व्यू कोड करने के लिए, तो इसने आपको कोड दे दिया. ये कोड को आप कॉपी करो, मैंने भी वही किया था. आई हैव कॉपीड दिस कोड एंड देन आई हैव पुट इट हियर डायरेक्टली. थोड़ा कस्टमाइजेशन है ओपन की ऐड करने के लिए ये, बट फाइनली आई यूज दिस मेथड इटसेल्फ. सिंपल है ना. तो कैसा रहता है, ये प्रॉम्प्ट रहता है, ये प्रॉम्प्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है, यही मॉडल के अंदर जाता है. ये प्रॉम्प्ट द फूड एट योर रेस्टोरेंट वॉज बैड, तो इसने ये रिस्पॉन्स दिया. अब यही चीज़ को अगर आपको जेनेरिक बनाना है फॉर योर रिस्पॉन्स, तो ये जो इनपुट है ये आप कोई यूज़र इंटरफेस से ले लो, है ना. ये क्वेश्चन का जो इनपुट है वो यूज़र इंटरफेस से ले लो. देखो मैंने रिव्यू, ये मैंने यूज़र इंटरफेस से ले लिया, और रिप्लाई वो रिप्लाई कर देता है. सो दिस रिव्यूज वॉज कमिंग फ्रॉम माई यूज़र इंटरफेस, राइट. सिंपल, ठीक है. आई थिंक आई एड्रेस सम पॉइंट्स, राइट, हाउ यू कैन यूज OpenAI एंड डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस एंड कोड एंड एवरीथिंग. इट्स वेरी सिंपल. कोडिंग इतना डिफिकल्ट नहीं है, यू कैन डू इट. देयर आर 3 थिंग्स व्हिच आई हैव कवर्ड. ऑटो रिस्पॉन्स किया हम लोग ने, ये किया स्ट्रीमलाइट, और ये इमेज बनाया. ये लास्ट पॉइंट था. आई थिंक आई एम ऑलरेडी ऑन टाइम. सो रिमेंबर दैट AI टेक्नोलॉजी इज अ टूल एंड लाइक एनी अदर टूल, इट इज़ ओनली एज इफेक्टिव एज अ पर्सन यूजिंग इट, राइट. अब ये इलॉन मस्क जो था उसके साथ उसने वही बोला था, AI won't replace you, but a person using AI will, right? AI is not going to replace you. लेकिन person who can use AI effectively, definitely is going to replace you. Right? तो जैसे कि एक सिंपल एक इमेज था, यहाँ पर एक काऊ है, उसका सर है और यहाँ पर ये है, तो वो डिटेक्ट करता है इतना बड़ा काऊ है. तो दिस इज AI, right? But the human intelligence will always be there. I definitely agree there are lower margin of the jobs like content writing, copywriting, जो बहुत ही लो लेवल पे काम करते हैं. इट विल डिमिनिश, आई एग्री, बट you can use this tool to enhance your work, right? The idea was generating this tool itself was for humanity, right? That humans should now work beyond this, right? They should go whatever they are working right now, and जो routine task है उनका वो सब नहीं करे वो, and they should, हाँ, they should go beyond that.
How is it going to help the students basically? I think we have a lot of students over
Yeah, exactly.
Some touch points on the
Anything, right? Being a student, right? Physics, maths, any questions?
Maybe, I mean, what the message you would like to give it to students, how they can upskill themselves, be ready for the next challenges in their career?
If they have an inclination, right? If they have an inclination in any of these streams, for the students, if you want to have inclination for science, arts, commerce, right? Usually, जो भी हैं हम लोग Indian माइग्रेट engineers या doctors ही हैं. So, if you are interested in maths, so my would be use this platform to go into the depth of it. Whatever point you have studied today, you just go to the first principle, as I mentioned in my initial conversation, right? You go how it works, right, to the scratch of it. Today we try to touch upon the ChatGPT underlying technology, right? How actually it recognizes it. What's the neural network? How it gets trained. So if you're studying some topic, try to get to the depth of it, then you will find learning very helpful and fun. Otherwise, वो right रट्टा मार के लिखना फिर वो मज़ा नहीं आएगा. So it's better if you're finding some topic interesting, क्योंकि AI से ना पूछते जाओ, so it will go deep into every topic. So जैसे if you are learning something, right, about physics, how it works, can you elaborate more? Can you tell me about this? So उसमें कोई term आया वो नहीं समझा, can you explain with this? So in the depth you will understand everything. जैसे when I was learning integration derivatives, I was just doing all ratta, right? I was just all the formulas. But right now, when I was learning deep learning and machine learning, that's how I can see the usage of those things, right? Integration and derivative. Why these functions are used. So inside those libraries of Python, they have used those things, right? They have used those functions to do that work. So this is the best platform to get to the depth of any of the topic.
Murshid, let student ask the question right now.
It's open for question and answer. There was one report, right?
जो भी क्वेश्चन दैट्स द होल पर्पस यू शुड आस्क क्वेश्चन पूछो जो भी दिमाग खुद भी क्वेश्चन स्टूपिड नहीं होता आई थिंक यू शुड आस्क क्वेश्चन
सर एक एक्यूरेसी के ऊपर
किसका
ये चैट जीपीटी के जो आंसर्स है उसकी
हाँ उसके बाद मुझे कुछ बोलना था राइट अच्छा वही रिमाइंड मी आज उसका एक आर्टिकल आया था सैम अल्टमैन जो इसका जिसने बनाया है
फाउंडर
हाँ सैम अल्टमैन और चैट जीपीटी 4 टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया OpenAI CEO Sam Altman thinks that ChatGPT will change the society, which and also expresses his worries. है ना उसकी कुछ worries है वो ओनर है उसको कुछ तो issue है इसके साथ. So I'll not go to the complete article, but I'll give you some points which I have read here and found. वो मेन पॉइंट था इट क्रिएट्स द चैट जीपीटी ही uses the word hallucination in this thing he said that there will be a little bit worried that this model could be used to spread false information on the large scale. He further stated that there was a hallucination problem, saying that the show will confidently say things that are not true as if they are. वो कॉन्फिडेंटली बोलेगा कि ऐसा होगा वो इट विल क्रिएट अ हैलुसिनेशन प्रॉब्लम एंड ही टोल्ड दैट पीपल नॉट टू यूज द सिस्टम एज द मेन सोर्स ऑफ फैक्चुअल इन्फॉर्मेशन एंड टू चेक द रिजल्ट ट्वाइस. तो इसका मेन जिसने बनाया वही बोल रहा है. तो
एक्चुअली मेरे को भी यही था कि गूगल सर्च करते तो अपनी फिर भी वेबसाइट है वो सोर्स
क्योंकि ये खुद से कंटेंट बिल्ड करता है
बता रहा है तो आप बोलोगे हाँ
ये खुद से बिल्ड करता है लेकिन मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम इट इज एक्यूरेट बट इट्स व्हाट ही हैज टेकन अ कैविएट इज दैट यू हैव टू एंश्योर दैट द रिजल्ट्स आर रियली मैचिंग सो यू कैन यूज दिस फॉर योर रिसर्च. इट्स नॉट डोंट टेक इट एज अ सोर्स ऑफ ट्रूथ. इट्स लाइक दैट.
सोर्स ऑफ एजुकेशन हो सकता है
हाँ मतलब आप इसको पढ़ो हाँ बट इट्स नॉट द कंप्लीट वन. सो दैट वाज द मेन प्रॉब्लम राइट ये वाला प्रोसेस. तो उसके ऊपर एकदम टोटली रिलाई नहीं करना है बट यू कैन डेफिनेटली यूज इट फॉर योर रिसर्च पर्पज एंड एवरीथिंग एंड लर्निंग. I wanted to show something which will connect to the Kafala program, I think.
Okay, I have just to add something. Just want to give a message to all the students out here because like if Murshid, if you allow me to.
Yeah, sure.
So you know what? मैं तो बोलूँगा कि every young जो बच्चे कॉलेज में है वो अपने आप को अपस्किल करना चाहिए बिकॉज हम लोगों का जो करिकुलम है इट्स नॉट वेरी मेड फॉर द फ्यूचर एंड फॉर द करंट व्हिच वी आर लुकिंग एट. कोई इमेजिन नहीं कर सकता ऐसे 2 साल पहले के टेक्नोलॉजी का होगी सब लोग सर्च इंजन कर रहे थे. नाउ सर्च इंजन के बियॉन्ड देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस. हमारे सारे जो एस्पेक्ट्स है हम लोग क्या करते हैं मोबाइल फोन में एवरीथिंग इज गेटिंग कोलेटेड. तो अपनी पढ़ाई में ये सब चीज़ें वीडियो पे देखो यूट्यूब पे कि टेक्नोलॉजी आज के कौन से चल रहे हैं. मार्केट में सिर्फ जावा ही पढ़ रहे हैं. जावा के ऊपर भी क्या चल रहा है और अपने आप को अपस्किल करो. अगर आपने कोई क्लासेस लिया है टेक्नोलॉजी का तो देखो क्या पढ़ा रहा है और वो देखो मार्केट में वो चल भी रहा है कि नहीं चल रहा है. क्योंकि हमारे जो पेरेंट्स हैं पैसे डाल देते हैं टेक्निक बोले सीखो जाओ जावा सीखो जाओ पाइथन सीखो लेकिन देखना चाहिए कि मार्केट में क्या चल रहा है वो हिसाब से अपने आप को अपस्किल करना है. मेरा तो ये मैसेज है कि अपस्किल इज द की. बहुत जरूरत. मेरे से ज़्यादा पढ़े लिखे यहाँ पे लोग हैं तो जस्ट थैंक यू मुर्शिद बट जस्ट वांटेड टू से कि अपस्किल करो. लुक एट क्या चल रहा है टेक्नोलॉजी उस पर काम करो. डोंट बी केयरफुल कह रहे यार ये मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा ये नहीं कर पाऊंगा. अल्लाह ताला ने इतनी हिदायत दी कि यू नो एवरीबडी हैज अ ब्रेन. तो हम लोग को अपने आप को ब्रेन को इस तरह से ट्रेन करना है कि आई एम रेडी फॉर द नेक्स्ट. तो हमेशा एक बियॉन्ड सोचना है क्योंकि हर एक बार जब टेक्नोलॉजी का रेवोल्यूशन आता है तो हर एक बार हर जमाने में ऐसा पहले टेक्सटाइल रेवोल्यूशन आया था. तो आप लोगों को पता है 70s 80s सब लोग टेक्सटाइल में काम करना चाहते थे मिलों में काम करना चाहते थे. बाद में फिर अलग अलग रेवोल्यूशन आए. तो रेवोल्यूशन से पब्लिक जो है थोड़ा पीछे हट जा रही ये चलो इसमें सब उसकी तरफ भागते हैं. कोई नहीं सोचता कि फ्यूचर. अभी बड़ी बड़ी कंपनी जो है ना जैसे कोडैक बिल्कुल फ्लॉप हो गई, फिलिप्स बिल्कुल फ्लॉप हो गई। कोडैक एक जमाने में फिल्म बनाती थी, पता है आपको? फिल्म का जो फोटो निकालते हैं मोबाइल वाले, आपको तो पता नहीं होगा कोडैक क्या थी, पर जो 80s 90s में पैदा उनको पता है कि कोडैक कितनी जबरदस्त कंपनी थी। आज कोडैक खत्म हो गई बिकॉज उन लोगों ने बियॉन्ड सोचा नहीं। जिस तरह से नोकिया कंपनी जमाने मोबाइल बनाती थी, वो भी खत्म हो गई बिकॉज उन लोगों ने सिम्बियन ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम के ऊपर सोचा ही नहीं, उन लोगों ने एंड्रॉइड पे काम ही नहीं किया, और आज वो नोकिया भी खत्म हो गई। उसी तरह से ब्लैकबेरी, पता है ब्लैकबेरी फोन्स कितने फेमस होते थे? वो भी एक जमाने में बहुत बहुत चलते थे, लेकिन वो भी ब्लैकबेरी की भी आज हालत बहुत खराब है। सो द बॉटम लाइन है कि अपने आप को हमेशा नेक्स्ट लेवल पे सोचना चाहिए, आगे जाकर फ्यूचर क्या है करके। और पढ़ाई में भी हमारे को वो चीज़ों को देखना चाहिए, लेकिन हमारी पढ़ाई बहुत लिमिटेड है, तो हम लोग को यूट्यूब वीडियो ऐसे देखने चाहिए और बड़े बड़े लीडर्स को सुनना चाहिए, जैसे इलॉन मस्क को है, और चाइना में कौन है, अलीबाबा के फाउंडर कौन है?
जैक मा
है, उनकी बातों को सुनना चाहिए, हाउ दे टॉक। हम लोग बहुत सारा टाइम जो है सोशल मीडिया पे बिताते हैं, अननेसेसरी इसी रील्स देखते रहते हैं, बट यू नो व्हाट, वी नीड टू सी के मार्केट में क्या हो रहा है, फ्यूचर में क्या हो रहा है, हाउ दे आर, वो चीज़ देख के ही अपने आप को प्रिपेयर करना चाहिए नेक्स्ट लेवल के लिए। बहुत जल्द, हाँ एग्जैक्टली।
मुर्शिद, सैम ऑल्टमैन ओपन एआई बना रहा है, इतना कुछ, सो मच ह्यूज ऑफ आंसर्स मिल रहे हैं, सब कुछ इजी हो रहा है, तो वो कैसा फ्री में दे रहा है? मतलब व्हाई इज इट नॉट चार्जिंग द लॉगिन? और
उसका उन लोग का वो मिशन ही वही था, इट वाज नहीं उनका वो अभी पहले वो ओपन था, और अभी लेकिन उन लोग उसको प्रॉफिट में कन्वर्ट कर दिया। लेकिन इनिशियली जब उन लोगों ने वो किया था ना, तो उनका मिशन ही वही था कि दे वांट टू डू इट फॉर द बेनिफिट ऑफ द ह्यूमैनिटी, क्योंकि तब
बैकसीट हो जाएगी एंड देन कमर्शियल आ जाएगा।
अभी तो आ गया ना, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ने ले लिया ना।
Every open source project has some portion which is for enterprise level. So every open source project works like that.
वो अलग वर्जन रहेगी।
No, that's enterprise level version will be charged for
Now can I go
companies.
home and log in and use this?
No.
You can use it, you can use it. See, अभी जैसे माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ने इन्वेस्ट किया है, and they have used this technology and they have come up recently with Copilot. I think Yaya bhai has said.
बहुत अच्छा है Copilot।
हाँ, तो उसमें they have जो भी आप माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड पावरपॉइंट यूज करते हो, उन्होंने इसके साथ इंटीग्रेट कर दिया।
Copilot इतना बेहतरीन है, आपको पता
answer
होगा।
this question, he's saying that can I use it?
पर ये लॉगिन
How can I use it?
You can use it.
फ्यूचर यूज करना मेरे बच्चों के लिए ऐसे लिखना है।
हाँ, लिख दो ना।
मैं लॉगिन कर लिया, फ्यूचर में वो लॉगिन पेड हो जाएगा ना मुझे, वो सर्टेन।
तो अभी जैसे ChatGPT 4 पेड ही है ना।
अच्छा, 4 is paid।
4 is paid।
But basically you can do it for basic concept, which I think is going to be fun.
जैसे अभी
For a commercial
फॉर एग्जांपल WhatsApp जो है फ्री है, एड वर्ड कुछ भी नहीं है, बट उसका प्लेटफॉर्म कैसे काम करता है? उसके अंदर एक बिजनेस करके है, WhatsApp बिजनेस, राइट? तो WhatsApp अलग अलग जरिए, तो ChatGPT भी होगा, कुछ वर्जन फ्री होंगे जिसके लिमिटेशन होंगे। अभी एक इनकी बात कर रहे थे MS 365 की, जो व्हाट वाज दैट वर्ड यू सेड? कोपायलट। आप एक डेक में आप खाली कोपायलट डाल दोगे ना, कि डेक में आप ये पूछ सकते हो कि मेरा लॉस में क्यों चल रहा है बिजनेस, वो डेटा को देख के ही समझ जाएगा कि आपका बिजनेस लॉस में क्यों चल रहा है, आप इधर धंधा गलत कर रहे हो, इधर पैसे ज्यादा डाल रहे हो, वो एनालाइज कर लेगा आपको। तो उसके लिए कोई ह्यूमन की जरूरत ही नहीं उसको एनालिसिस करने के लिए कि भाई लॉस में क्यों मेरा बिजनेस। तो इट्स गोइंग टू बी सो सिस्टमैटिक, बहुत फ्यूचर हो जाएगा।
ये देखिए हदीस और कुरान में भी ट्रेंड है ये, लेकिन अगेन फिर से चेक कर लेना आप, क्योंकि मैंने उससे पूछा, आर यू ट्रेन ऑन हदीस? तो बोलता हाँ, आई एम ट्रेन, and he's also trained on Quran as well. So if I ask him, can you give me a hadith on Prophet, on excellence, let's say? ट्रेंड है वो, हदीस में भी ट्रेंड है। क्लोज करेंगे। आई थिंक आई एम डन, राइट? एनी क्वेश्चंस एनीवन? एनीथिंग? Okay guys, thank you very much for being such a good audience in afternoon of Sunday. It was really fun.